All right, welcome back to the morning show here on the Rise News. I'm Rufai Hosseini.
And I, Adesoa Omorwan.
As Nigeria sees its music industry shift from traditional physical distribution to digital distribution, the case for a shift in music promotion can be made. Nowadays, regardless of the style of music promotion, through media is a key component in the growth of the Nigerian artist. Record labels and independent artists invest a lot of money and time building relationships with new media entities and social media influencers, since it has become evident that these entities and influencers are able to break out new artists. So joining us this morning to discuss this and many more is Words Are Not Just Enough, Waje, a singer with a vocal range that covers 3 octaves and is so lovely, I should tell you, and one of the forgers of the inaugural season of The Voice of Nigeria. Waje, as always.
Good morning.
Good morning. Great to have you.
Thank
Words
you.
are not just enough.
Yes.
Waje, how far?
I do. Just in my own small corner, relaxing and chilling and doing things, but I'm fine.
All right, let's get straight to it.
Okay.
The video. You coming out, and I remember when I met you, just last year we talked and we never got around this launch. You coming out shocked a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it was the stark reality
Yeah.
of the society we are in and we live in today. I mean, can you just talk us through, the mental processing of it, the things we never saw in the video, the backstory to it, and the audacity you coming out and saying, I want to talk about my challenges.
So, well, the backstory is, as you grow in the business, you want to if I take music started as a hobby for me, but eventually I wanted it to be a sustainable business. And like every business person, if you don't have the right strategy, it's not just about distribution, it's not just about marketing it's really about the structure that you put in place for your business. What works for A might not work for B. And unfortunately, with music, it's, I personally think many times people think that the songs we churn out are the products, but the brand is the product. You understand? So for me, there were a few mistakes that I made earlier on in my career. And I'll give you a typical example. It's important that what you put out is excellent, yes. But you have to also measure the content and the availability of your material, in terms of what you can afford. Because at the end of the day, the end product or the end justifies the means. So no matter how great the product is, if you don't put it out there enough for people to see it, it will just remain a great product. You know what I mean? So I always wanted that to be what people will say about me, that Waje's work, when you talk about excellence and, proper production, great videos, that's the niche I'm going to carve for myself, just outside just the genre. And over time, I just saw that I would have the product, but I might push it, but not push it enough. You understand? I'll give you an example. I remember, even though that one, we went really into pushing it, and we spent a lot of money. Coco Baby, featuring Diamond Platinum. We shot it in Cape Town, and reasons why was because we wanted that vibe in itself. We felt we couldn't create it here because you don't have a lot of beach areas that, the scenery is, except you want to push something like Oju Elegba or something like that. Sometimes you talk to directors and they'll tell you, oh, it's not going to be clean enough. And then if you now have the one that will be like a private beach, those ones are charging you so much. There are a lot of things. So, but anyways, the story is we shot it in Cape Town, and you also have to do what is comfortable for the artists who you featured, because sometimes some of them come with their riders, and they're, it's quite a lot. So when we shot it for about $10,000. And then you still bring the artist, business class with their manager. You put them in at least a 4-star hotel. All that in itself, you've spent about 10 million naira on one video. Then pushing it alone. You understand what I mean? And for me, that Coco Baby taught me you know, what goes into the industry. All the time, all the songs I'd done before that, Coco Baby was my learning process because at the time, Mavin had just released their first single together. And, you know, we can check radio plays. You know, there's a provision for that. So Coco Baby will be #1 today. And then Mavin will be, and all that play you are seeing is plug-in.
So you're actually paying the radio stations to play?
You plug in. Because they're pluggers, you understand? So you have to plug in through your publicists, you have to do a lot of playlisting, not just radio stations alone. You know, you have to just find yourself in the right, in the right space for distribution. And then you're spending money, you're doing ads on YouTube, you're doing all of that. So it's more than just, for the audience, people that are watching, say, great video, great music. You have to, you know. So for me, that backstory was me saying, I really don't know if I have the strength to do this anymore. You understand? Because I was getting to a point where I have like every other person, I have other responsibilities. And I have other businesses that I want to focus on. I have Jimenez that Omaomi and I started, a media company. I'm on a board in a food company. So, and many times my music takes me away from focusing on that. So I was just like, you know.
And the music wasn't paying?
It wasn't paying me enough.
Well, was a stark reality. It was also a shocker for many people because I remember last time we were on the show with Dr. Abati and Waje Speaks, we were talking about how great music has been, you know, opened doors for you, media brand ambassadors.
Honestly, it has opened doors for me, doors. You wouldn't know me if it wasn't for my music. You know, the places, you know, I've had the opportunities to perform at the World Economic Forum. I've had, you know, my brand is tailored to nation building. So, and all of that has come because of the music, you know. So, but you get to a space where that plateau is not enough. So it's either you want more, and for me, I just wanted more. It's only natural as a business person.
What about those who said, you know, perhaps you're not doing the right collaborations? They say, Waje, maybe the collaborations are not helping enough.
Does Adele do plenty collaborations?
Or the genre? Did you think perhaps your genre was also not fetching the money?
I don't think it's the genre, and I'll tell you why. I don't believe that could be. To be honest, there are no rules anymore. No, there's no hard and fast rule. There's no #1, you have to do it this way, or you know. So maybe it was more of a reinvention of myself. Maybe you have, I don't know, people that only listen to party music all day. You know, there are times when you want to, you understand, and it's not like, and it's not like there's no, I don't do party music as well. So I don't know if it's that.
But a lot of people say, funny enough, there are rules in the Nigerian music. #1, if it's not pop music, or Ibile, you know, the ones the likes of the Zlatans will do, and Slim Case. Even Omawumi, your friend, had to do something with Slim Case. So some people will say, why didn't you just go that route? Because it was a safe haven since Mr. Real started his Legbegbe movement. Songs like that were safe havens. So why didn't you just plug into that? You could have never gone wrong. You'd have brought the Waje brand, sort of, since Omawumi did it. And Omawumi says, like,
okay, how do I... It's interesting. Adekunle doesn't do Legbegbe. I feel like you can reinvent your brand, but I feel like there has to be a side of you. You can't give out what you don't have. Do you understand? And it has to look convincing, because the truth is, we are a visual people. It's a visual generation. It's not just what you listen to. It's also what you... There are artists that do Legbegbe that you don't care much about. And the reason why is probably because they can't sell it. So know yourself, not because. You understand? You can reinvent yourself, but to know yourself too is quite important. You understand? You can do it just to sustain yourself, but does it really bring that's kind of money.
Take, for instance, in Yanya. They don't know what I feel about you to Kukere. Yanya was about one of the best soulful
because
artists.
he could sell it.
To Kukere?
But take another example, Praise.
Okay.
Praise just sort of took that side of the pop music he wanted people to connect with, but he still was. So for me, I'm looking for a side of popular music that I can connect with without also losing who Waje is.
And have you found that part?
I'm working on it.
Well, you threatened to quit music.
Yeah.
Would you quit? Have you quit?
Is it possible to quit? Is it possible to quit music? I don't know. I don't think I'll quit music, and that's me being honest. Okay. The reason why that came up was I just wanted to, first of all, I didn't want the pressure. I just wanted to be honest with my reality. Some people even say, Waje is broke now. I said, that's not what I said. I said,
there was a lot of interpretation.
Some people even say publicity stunt. That maybe you're about to bring out a new album, so you just need a publicity stunt around it.
People say different things.
Let me tell you some of the headlines I saw.
Yes.
Waje quits music over lack of funds.
That's the one that made me laugh.
Waje set to quit music over lack of funds.
Yes.
Cry for help.
Yes, I saw that.
How did you feel when you saw this headline?
I was laughing.
Was it intentional for that video to make the rounds?
Who was videoing it?
So it was intentional because it was on your YouTube page.
It was on a vlog. Here's the thing. I have a vlog. And the whole point of the vlog was I felt that people need to, first of all, I felt that Waje was here and her audience here. So people know Waje. They love Waje's music. But what's that connection to Waje? And connecting, remember I said we're visual people. Connecting to your fans is also being honest to them because they have to follow the journey. They have to understand your story, be part of your story. So as you progress, they are progressing with you. So initially, I was under a different management. And I met a new manager that I started working with in January. And I told, when she walked up to me, and you know what, we did some work in December, and I loved her administrative skills. So I asked if she was willing to work with me. She said yes. And I told her, I said, to be honest with you, I'm done. And she said, Waje, you can't be done. I told her, I said, if I'm being honest, I just feel like I can do it once a while, but like that energy, you know, I'm not exactly 12. So that energy is, you know, and she now said, so be honest about it. So we started the vlog, and that was our first episode. So people didn't even watch the thing from beginning to end to understand the conversation. You understand? Yeah. They just took that piece, and you know, that's the way we are.
But you had trolls too from that blog. How did you handle the trolls? Because a lot of people are just like, oh, she's blessed. Somebody was even, I heard somebody was saying, see her house, see the crib, see everything.
Waje's broke is not our broke.
But
broke
the person too is being honest, is the truth.
See your house,
you understand? The person too talk true. You understand? When I say, I'm not ready to invest in this thing anymore, it's because, let me tell you the honest truth. Do you know I used to have a school?
Oh.
I owned a school, but I had to close my school down because I didn't have the time.
What school?
I had
proper education school.
Primary, secondary school?
A crèche.
Oh.
And nursery.
Wow.
On the island here. And it ran for 2 years, and I closed it down. Why? Because music was everything that I invested in. So that's why. So I know businesses that I have started, and you know, because the studio, you get what I mean. So for me, that was my backstory. So it wasn't from a place of, I don't have money again, go fund me account, all those kind of things. No.
Waje, you keep on saying something that I want to interrogate a little bit. You say you have a management, but hang on a minute, but you're the one that still dole out most of the cash for your production. Is it that there were no labels, there were nobody to come in and, you know, or there was nobody that said, okay, long-term thing? Because like the $10,000 for Kobe video, it was you. All the funding, it was you. Everything, because that takes a lot.
It does take a lot. But I'll tell you why. When I started my career, the first time somebody convinced me about music was when I was 18. And I was in church singing, and he came to me. He's my mentor, Chris Madabuko. And he came to me and he said, Waje, you have a voice. You should think about releasing music. And I said, no, I'm not interested. And he didn't understand it. So he kept on talking to me and eventually convinced me. And I now signed with a record label to produce 5 albums. And 5 albums, 10 years. And we didn't do anything. Wow. Till I was about 27. Wow. So that sort of gave me a scare working with labels. So earlier on, when I moved to Lagos and started having conversations, this way after Do Me, when For a Minute came out, there were a few labels that reached out to me, Chocolate City and some other labels. But my question was always, how much? I don't want upfront of buying car, house. That wasn't my problem. My question always was, how much are you investing in my career? And half the time, they didn't have the answer. So my management at the time, I was working with Godwin Tom. My manager just thought it didn't make sense if you can't be told how much that is going to be invested in your career. Let's take, for example, if you're doing one album and somebody says, I will invest 5 million for 2 years to you as an artist for your, you understand? So you have you understand what you're getting into. So that when you're working with producers and you're working with different people, you understand. But you hear things like, well, we have relationships that we are going to maximize. I love that, but it doesn't help me because remember my backstory. I'd been there. I've worked. I was there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I had maybe 3 singles. You understand that people were not even aware of till Do Me now woke them up to, oh, this is, you understand what I mean? So.
Okay, before we talk about your film production company with Omaomi, when you were on the show last time, you also talked about celebrating your 10 years in the industry officially by taking a tour of Nigeria. Are you still doing that?
Yes.
Carrying the fans along?
So, which is why the vlog came up. Okay. You know, because I wanted to take people through that process. So I'm doing something in Terra Culture July 6th. And I decided that, like you said, maybe we need to go into popular music, but sort of, reinvent and fuse it with. So, but before that, I said, okay, this album that I said people weren't aware that, it came out. I'm doing a Red Velvet concert just to mirror the album for them. And then whatever I decide to do, I'll do it. So it's theatrical, and it's a lot of dance and music. So it's like it's almost like a musical, but it's more concert than musical, It's at Terra Culture, July 6th. And after that, I'm doing Abuja, and I'm doing Port Harcourt, and Enugu, yeah.
Let's talk about distribution. We can see the likes of Tiwa Savage recently signing something with Sony. And Sony, in fact, has an office here. Yeah, they do. By some of the work I've done on the radio, they have a distribution platform here. And not only, with local artists, they have foreign artists that they distribute here, like South African artists. Like I know they've worked with Nado and a couple of other artists like that. Are you looking at something like that, just to handle your distribution part? Yeah,
I'm actually working with a producer now called Lyric. Lyric is amazing. Lyric produced a song on my first album, the one that I featured, Borna. He does a lot of work for Borna as well. And the great thing about working with Lyric is we are coming out with a different sound that is, you can tell it's Waje, but it's also popular music, And that is a joint project with me and Lyric. And we're talking to distribution on platforms like Sony and, the international ones. And then, so that's where we are now.
Let's talk about the movies. So your new media outfit, Henaise is called? Henaise is called, with Omaomi. Yes. How has that been?
It's been amazing. We shot our first movie, She Is, and the reception was... That's one of the reasons why I said, what's in there? Like someone needed to decide about this.
money is more.
So
You
it's
have
more
money
lucrative.
in movies.
Let me not say before the people that are going will now come and say, "Waje, oh, yeah, go and write check." Well, it's a great experience, and the reason why is because we are actually seeing things that we can do, more things that we can do. You know, I just got back from Benin over the weekend. And the reason why I went there was because Edo Jobs, there's a part of the government that's called Edo Jobs that creates jobs for young people. And they're looking for how they can employ 200,000 young people. So you don't have all this Libya, you know, this new way of slavery now. So we're thinking unemployment is one of the reasons why people go into Yahoo and all this, you know. And the conversation is amazing, you know. Jimenez is also looking on how they can collaborate with the state government to create series that, you know, can also teach people the skill of, you know, whatever skill it is in movies and, you know, the DOPs and all of that, but also give them a job, you know. So we're still having conversations, you know, with that. So this is just to show you the different things that Omami and I have realized that we can do other than music. Because at the end of the day, so it might be difficult, but it's not just about the money as well. Money is great, and I love money, trust me. The only thing where people wake me for money, not money. But also, it's also about leaving a legacy. And if it's just about, oh, how popular I am, how much money, how many houses I have, I don't think it will be enough, you know. So when we started this company, we just thought, let us carve our niche. Since we're both musicians, let it be that we're bringing sound and music and all of that into it. But we are also like, oh, wow, you mean we can do this and we can do that? So that's where we are now.
Why Omami, and how's the partnership been?
It's been amazing. Why Omami is because we know ourselves. Okay. We've been friends for so long. And the truth is, behind the scene, we've worked on each other's projects. Omami will work on her album and, you know, I'll listen and say, change this one, and vice versa. So we just thought, all this thing that we're doing, let's put it into good use and make money off it.
International advocacy, done a lot with Bono for girl child development. You've heard of African Voices, you know, on CNN. How's that been?
It's been great. It's been great because, especially the last project I did with one is one of the ones that blessed my heart because I saw the progress of it. When we started the campaign for Make Nigeria Stronger, it was a 6-month campaign, but it took us 2 years. But our fight was for 1% of our consolidated revenue funds to be implemented in our bill. And we were able to do it. So now we're looking for structures and ways we can hold the government accountable for primary healthcare centers when they eventually invest, like we can see and say, let's measure it. So that's where we are now.
Politics?
No, backstage. Backstage girl. But the prayer is to be powerful enough to sit where conversations of change can be had. Because you can't change anything if you are not sitting on that table. But I will not come out and say, oh, let me not say I will not, because you never know.
Oh, Desmond Elliott did it. Nice almost did it.
Yes.
Banky W almost
did it.
And he will continue to do it. But guess what? I was behind the scene backing Banky W. So I may not come out and say, oh, I'll run for office, but that doesn't mean that I will not be part of the party and be as powerful as the person running. Because, like I said, you're not fit change anything if you're not sitting on that table. You know, so yeah.
Well, Waje, Mary, thanks for coming on the morning show today. We wish you the very best. Perhaps we'll see more movies apart from She Is. Are you on any at the moment?
Jade, the director and the producer for It's Okay, she just shot one as well. I acted in that. And yeah, there are more things that I'm going to be. But don't worry, I'm not quitting musical. So when I come out, I'm going to buy
Thank you so much, Waje, for coming by. Thanks so much. It's been a great show with you. Rufai, we've got to go.
Yes, so...
That brings us to the end of the Money Show today. I am Adesoa Omorwan.
And I'm Rufai Yosedi.
Thank you for watching from our entire team here in Lagos. Enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, the rest of your day. Goodbye. This one I make a move. Yeah. Share it happen for your mind.